Welcome to Waking Hope, nurturing healing and opportunity to find your purpose and better me empowered lives. We are now entering an hour of growth, light, and love. I'm Christine Vibrant, and together we will delve into what makes you, you, and learn that you can and should love yourself, and how better me empowered living can access these and more. You are more than the sum of your body, your mind, and your spirit. Find yourself as part of the divine. Find healing, rest, and positivity for yourself and the entire world. Waking Hope starts now. Good morning and welcome to Waking Hope, your Better Me Empowered Living show with your host, Christine Vibrant, and my super special guest today. I can't wait to get chatting with Eva Millan. Eva, did I say your name correctly?
So it's Eva Millan.
I love it. You see, so this is what I love about this talk show. So Eva Millan, welcome to Waking Hope. Thank you for being here this morning. How are you feeling?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a little nervous. I don't do well in front of a camera. I'm more of a behind the scenes kind of person. But I'm excited. I mean, it's a new experience. It's going to push me to grow, I hope.
This is it. Well, this is part of the Better Me Empowered Living. And thank you for doing this. I know I've got such a beautiful story on how Eva and I met. And this is an ongoing relationship, which only really happened because we both stepped out of our comfort zones at a time when there was alignment. Yep. And this is it. This is part of self-love, Eva, that you and I have discovered on our own path of turning pain into purpose. And this is what I want to experience and encourage people to experience too. What does turning pain into purpose mean for you if we're going to be talking about visualizing things? Like, this is the thing, when we're stepping into purpose after having trauma, and we all have our own struggles, especially after, 2020, right? It can look and feel different to everybody, especially if, just as me and you, we're uncomfortable in front of the camera. We're uncomfortable speaking up. We're uncomfortable being seen.
Yeah.
Right? How do you visualize things? Like, let's just really dive in there. I know this is kind of off topic, but it seems to me that visualization is really what brings clarity. Right before we dived into the show, guys, we were sitting here just looking at each other, and we both took a moment, took a breath, closed our eyes, and centered ourselves. Now, for me, I always bring a bit of a visualization in, and that's my own little private thing, which I'll talk about later. Do you have something that you visualize?
I do. I have a daily and sometimes moment to moment grounding practice that I started back. It's been a really long time, and it's kind of grown and changed depending on the season I'm in and what my personal needs are. But it's not just sitting. My personal grounding practice isn't just sitting and being like, oh, I'm part of the earth or anything like that. It's very much sitting and visualizing I'm a big giant tree, and my roots go down, from my center all the way down into the earth. And there's an energetic exchange. Like, I am giving to the earth and the earth is giving back. And so it's not just grounding and centering, but there's like I said, an exchange with the earth, and there's a give and there's a take. And so it's a reciprocal relationship. So it's very much, it's helped me to center myself a lot more. And so that's what I visualize. I'm a big old tree.
This is beautiful because, Eva, this is something I do as well. I have this relationship with trees, and I encourage other people to as well. As you said, there's an energy exchange. And when you're dealing with energies that you're not used to, for example, being in front of the camera and speaking up when you really would rather not, right? It feels scary. It feels scary. And this is what I want viewers and listeners and anyone who's, tuning in later on a podcast. I know that there are more people like us because I found them. I've gone around the world and I found them. And they don't always look like me. They haven't got the same background as me, but we all have a journey somewhere along the line of having dealt with pain, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, because the brain registers it the same. And we've looked around, right? Yes. And we've looked around and we've said, no, this sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. I know there's better.
Yes, there is. And that's the thing. You just have to find what's better for you.
Yes. And this is where the self-love comes in. So a question I like to
Hmm.
ask, how have you shown your self-love today?
Well, today I woke up and I wasn't feeling very well because of the sinuses and the
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 allergies,
pollen that's
right?
happening right now in my area. So I wasn't feeling super good. But you know what? I'm going to take a moment, check in with my body. So my act of self love today in the morning was checking in and making sure that, hey, body, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I'm listening to you. I'm understanding that you're uncomfortable, but we need to do things. If you can just hold on with me, and so just
Mhm.
talking my body through what I'm going to do today. We're going to have a talk with Christine. We're going to have a talk with Ferris. You know, we have to play with the dog and take care of the cat, but I'm checking in with you during the day and making sure that my body feels heard and it feels like it has permission, because, we have to give our bodies permission to tell us that. And pain is a huge thing. And if we're not acknowledging the pain and giving it space to be,
Mhm.
then we fall into this trap of ignoring it. And then the pain builds up, and it releases into, anger or frustration or into,
Yeah,
traditionally negative emotions, quote unquote.
right.
So that's what I did today to kind of love myself a little bit.
And it shows. This is something that I'm so excited to share with everybody, because what this is you're consciously stepping into creating your day. You're not just letting
Hmm.
things happen. You're not just saying, okay, here I have my spiritual moment and now that's it. Now I'm going to go into
Yeah.
materialistic. You're bringing it with
Hmm.
you, which a
Yes.
lot of people struggle to integrate or to understand, because we've seen spirituality viewed as religion. But that's another topic. I'm
Correct.
getting off
That's
topic.
the
And this
whole.
is
I could talk about that for
right.
hours.
But this is the beauty of stepping into your better me empowered life, because you're brought together with people that you
Hmm.
might not have interacted with if you'd stayed stuck in that feeling of
Yeah.
pain and everything is terrible
Hmm.
in the world and my body. Because a lot of, especially women, I hear a four-letter word that starts with an
Mm.
H about their body, and I was guilty of saying it.
Yeah.
And this is where my story's changed. So a little bit about
Hmm.
how Eva and I met. I was jumping into Waking Hope and I was super excited about it. This was my journey. I was working with the producers and getting used to what it
Hmm.
was, and I needed to do a photo shoot. And I was a new business owner, and which meant my budget for a photo shoot was $0. $0. And I was
That's
like,
much.
how am I going to get this done right? But a friend of mine said, let's go to a market and see if we can sell
Hmm.
your product, raise your money, get your name
Yes.
out in this very new community you're in. And I did
Hmm.
it because I was afraid. I'd never done it, but I said, you know what? You're never going to know. And
That's
there
right.
was Eva, and Faris was there too, wasn't he?
My brother
Your
was
brother
there
was
with
there.
me.
Yes.
He has his own little business too. So
Oh, so, and then what were you guys doing there that day?
we were also there promoting. So my brother has a kayaking. He rents and gives tours of the local, what we call resakas, which are like little tiny lakes for those of you who aren't part of the RGV South Texas area. So the technical term for them is OSPO lakes. So he does that, and then I do photography. So he starting trying to get things moving for him, and I was like, let's just do a market. And the market that we chose was animal. A huge thing that we're super passionate about, both of us, is animal rescue. So we're like, let's do this. So that's what we were doing there.
But this is it. You were following your passion, following your heart. And this is what people who are new to business or people who are shy
Hmm.
about starting things, this is what I want you to realize. You don't have to do things like everybody else does. Do
Yes.
what you find joy and share what you love.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
this is where I enjoyed speaking, because you have a certain style of photography. You have a certain style of being and way of being that is so soothing, especially for someone who's shy.
That's good.
Why don't you tell us a little bit more about your preferred style and about what it is that you love about this way of doing business?
So I like to call it like adventurous slash personal. So the way I think about my photography is I'm taking the person on a journey. Very much, I imagine I am Gandalf and you are Bilbo Baggins, and we are going to go on a journey. And so that was a silly reference, but it fits
But
because
it fits. I
it's
love it. But
it's very
that's your
much
ideal
the
client.
yes, the very
Yes.
much the magical experience of having pictures taken, and it can be extremely scary and unknown, and especially for those of us who have trauma and body trauma especially, or have everybody has insecurities, but when you've gone through something traumatic, it stays in the body. And sometimes we will magnify those insecurities, like, oh, I have a scar here, and everyone sees it, and that's all they see. And so we get into this negative spiral. And when I come into a session with someone, I want to take them on this little journey of like, no, it's okay. I don't even see that. I'm seeing you. I want to see you. I want to see your genuine self come through. And I think, especially when we deal with people who are chronically ill or have suffered some sort of trauma in the past, we tend to miss out on those special moments. And photography captures moments so that I can give something. Hey, this was you at this particular moment in time, and look at how beautiful you were. Look at how much you've grown. And then you can look back and still be like, oh, I've grown so much since then.
Yes, but you still see the beauty in your evolution as you're
Mm-hmm.
changing, because it is a
Mm-hmm.
journey. We talk about a
Yes.
self-love journey, a healing journey, and people tend to have a misguided opinion or a perspective that a thing's
Mm-hmm.
not going to happen overnight.
No.
And that's simply because of those wonderful ads on TV that we see, those terrible side
Mm-hmm.
effects that happen. And I don't want to dive too much into that, but it is so true. When you're chronically ill, when you have scars, we're used to hearing and seeing and being
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
invalidated, or hearing
Yes.
things that are other people's reactions to what they feel. It's
Correct.
not the truth about who we are, but we've lost
Mm-hmm.
that truth underneath all of
Mm-hmm.
that. I'm going to say B and an S, and we're just going to leave it at that. But this is what working with people, this is why being your genuine self, if it is a
Mm-hmm.
silly reference, I always tell a client, don't say silly, say, this is my exciting thing. This is not
Mm.
my weird thing. This is my exciting thing. And I want to share it with you.
That's right.
Because if you're excited about it too, this relationship is going to be great. We're going to have a lot of fun. I'm going to trust you to bring me out of my shell. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be less inclined to feel shy. And that
Yeah.
energy exchange that we talked about with the tree and the earth,
Mm-hmm.
that happens with a person that you're working with as well. And that
Yes.
is where the magic is. This is why we
Correct.
consult. This is why we connect with each other first. We don't just say, buy my package and here we go.
Yeah. No, that's not the way it works at all.
No. So Eva, how can people get a hold of you? Because you've got a great giveaway that we're going to discuss in a minute. But let's first offer them an opportunity. If they're curious about you, if they want to see your work, where can they find you?
So I am on Instagram. Mostly you will find me on Instagram, and I also have a website. So my Instagram is wardrobe media, and my website is wardrobemedia.org. So that's where people can go and find me. And I do social media for work as well. So you will get a response from me usually within a couple of hours. If you send a direct message, my DMs are open.
Yes, this is one thing I can attest to. Whenever I've got an issue or something like that, or I have a question, or like, is the script okay? Is what I'm going to talk about on the show okay? Eva's like, she's on it. She's right on it. Building your guest profile was so easy. You were on it. So thank you for that. Just huge shout out. It's so wonderful to work with people on the show who are responsive, and Eva is one of them. It also speaks to your professionalism and the fact that when people have had
Mm-hmm.
trauma in the past and they've been invalidated, we start to
Mm-hmm.
spiral if things don't
Yes.
fit a
Oh yes.
timeline. Oh yes.
Like, oh, there I go, and down,
And
down.
down and
Okay,
down.
bye.
Yes. Like, okay, so what can I learn from my own oops? And how can I make
Mm-hmm.
sure this doesn't happen again? And this is what I love about working with people who are okay with our eccentricities, our
Mm-hmm.
neurodivergence. It's, you're going to understand me and I'm going to get you, because I know you've heard
Mm-hmm.
this too, usually with tears in the eyes. I don't know if you understand how beautiful it is to work with someone who gets it. You're making this so
Mm-hmm.
easy for me.
Yeah,
And that hits
that is
me in my heart,
right here.
right? It hits me in my heart because I do know. And I
Mm-hmm.
was I was looking for someone like me. And I know you were looking for someone like you at one point. And
Mm-hmm.
we've done the work. This is something that as you go along your healing journey, you look back at those pictures, whether it's a real picture, right?
Mm-hmm. Or a mental picture.
Or a mental picture, and you're like, oh wow. Scars, warts, wrinkles, lines, pimples, bubbles, and all.
All of it.
All of it. How beautiful I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Eva, let's talk about that giveaway just for a second, because this is the
Yeah.
gift. This is something that is very, very beautiful. And as you said, have those moments in time, because You are in this moment to moment
Mhm.
to moment to moment. But there are going to be moments when you get that wave of nostalgia, or you have that epiphany of, look at my growth, and
Mhm.
you don't have that visual reminder.
Mhm.
This is the gift. Let's talk about it. Eva's got a
Okay.
gorgeous giveaway. Yeah, here we go.
Yes. Sorry. Sometimes I'm like, oh, is it talking? No.
It's your turn. Yes, I know.
I always want to make sure people are heard and that I am very much listening and paying attention. So sometimes there's that a little bit of overlap. But yes, so I have a 45-minute to 1 hour photo shoot to give away, completely free of charge. And when you book with me, you won't just get the photo shoot. I want to make sure we meet first and get your needs met, get your ideas and get your quote unquote insecurities, things like that. Any hangups that you might have about having your picture taken, about being in front of a camera, I am here to talk you through those, as well as if somebody needs help forming an outfit or need help designing what they want to look like. Perhaps, like, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to look my best self. I am there to help, and I'm there to make sure that you look stunning, it's amazing, or actually, you know what, that's not the correct fit for the vision you are communicating to me. So let's dial it down or dial it up depending on what people want. So it's very much a personal experience, and I want to make sure that your listeners get a chance to see that. And it is, it doesn't have to happen right now. It will be as long as I have the name and the number. And whenever you contact me and you feel, you know what, I am ready. I wasn't 3 months ago, but I am today. Then we are good to go.
This is beautiful, and this is the thing that you get when you work with someone who gets it. We know that this is exciting, and you're going to have to process, and there's going to be lots of things that come up. But this is the beauty. How can they enter?
So I have a post on my Instagram for the both of us, blasting the show happening today. So if people want to like that post and comment on the post, and that way I can get the names of people who want to enter.
Beautiful. And this is it. I've shared it as well, and we're going to continue
Perfect.
to blast this.
Yes.
Shall we give them to the end of February? How's that? Or would you like to extend it?
Whatever works. End of February. Today is the 25th.
25th. Yeah, we've got time. So
Today,
there's a few
yeah.
days.
There's a couple of days, so we can definitely do. Let's say the end of it will be March 1st.
There we go. Okay, so we're going to take a little break in just a second. While we're taking
Yes.
that break, go and find Eva on Instagram. Go and find that post, Wardrobe Media.
Yes.
Go and like and comment, perhaps comment on something that you would like to have in your photo shoot, or something that you're nervous about, something like really just, open yourself up, be your authentic self. And I would definitely subscribe as well, because Eva's got some interesting items coming up, and you might find a photo shoot that actually resonates with your visual of yourself.
There you
So
go.
we're going to take this little break. Go ahead, take this
Okay.
opportunity right now. And when we come back, we are going to be talking a little bit more about inclusivity in photography and what that means to Eva. Stay tuned to Waking Hope. Welcome back to Waking Hope with your host, Christine Vibrant, and our very special guest, Eva Millan, who is a brand marketing
consultant. Yeah, brand and marketing consultant.
Strategist, media person. She's a photographer who specializes in the adventure style of photography, which is your favorite, which we had such a gorgeous image of Gandalf taking us on a magical journey. And it is true. This is the truth. It's wonderful working with Eva. Eva, your style and your personality it's so much fun to be around. You've got this way of being that is resonating for me, especially as someone who is a little bit nerdy. I love it. I love it. Like, I want to be the one who talks about, tree energy and what it feels to tap into nature. And, oh, there's a butterfly, and going off on a tangent. And this is what I want. But maybe I'm not actually doing that because I'm trying to be what everybody else is being. Serious.
Correct.
And then I look at my photo shoot and I'm like, I just look mad. I look angry. When I'm smiling, this is who I am. But working with someone who gets it and works and understands that, it is an evolution is vital.
Yes.
Now, Eva, what led to your journey to be a freelancer? Why did you decide to get into this? Because getting into your own business is risky. It's scary.
It's very scary, yes.
Yes.
So my journey, um, man, it's trying to think of a short way to put a long journey.
Yeah.
So I have end-stage renal disease and I'm a kidney transplant patient. So that means I'm in and out of hospitals, in and out, unfortunately I have a low immune system. So um, it's really hard for me to be fully, completely well for long periods of time, because if someone has a cold or someone coughs, you might think, with somebody with a regular immune system might say, oh, that's not a big deal. But for me, it's like, oh, well, that's another, 3 weeks or that I'm going to be, not feeling great. So I also struggle with chronic pain issues due to all my renal stuff. So trying to work a 9 to 5 was killing me. It was draining my body. It was draining my soul, my spirit. I loved what I did because I was a social worker and I was working with, I also did HR work for a nonprofit, and I loved what I did. I was doing helping my community that I was living in. We were doing domestic violence and sexual assault awareness. We were helping, people who have children to get into, preschool and stuff like that. And we were helping teens. It was a whole like all in one type of nonprofit because it was a small community. And I absolutely loved it. My body, on the other hand, did not. And I was not thriving. Like my professional life was thriving, but my personal, my physical, my spiritual was not. And I know that makes because when I was there, I enjoyed it and I love the people I work with, but I would get home and I'm exhausted. I have no time for my hobbies. I don't have the energy to go out. And where I was living had lots of mountains and lakes and things like that. And I'm an avid hiker, avid camper. I didn't have time for any of that, and I didn't have the energy, and it was so hard. So when COVID rolled around, it was an opportunity to do like everybody else to
Mhm.
reevaluate what was important to me, to reevaluate um, the structure that capitalism has given us, because it's very much, they tell you this is what you need to be doing, this is the type of job to have security, and the reality is no job is secure because
Yes.
they can, I've had this conversation with a lot of people where they're like, oh well, I'm at my job even though I don't like it because it's job security. The reality is that it's not, because your employer can terminate you today and they don't have to give you a warning and you can be gone.
Yeah.
There is no security. So once I reached that point where I was like, well, yep, no, that's, if I'm already there, then I might as well do something. I might as well go after something that I'm passionate about and just give it a try. And so I did an internship with my friend Ferris, who I work with currently, and he has a branding, marketing, design company, and that is how I got started in that. Um, Unfortunately, my dad ended up passing from COVID, so I moved from California, where I was, to here in Texas, and that's when I was like, well, you know what? I've already moved my entire life.
Yeah.
I might as well start this journey. If I'm not going to start it now, I'm never going to do it. So I was like, okay, let's get on it.
Thank you. And thank you for sharing so much of your truth. This is the power of authenticity though. It's
Mhm.
it's it's showing this is who I am. There's no excuses to be given. Exiting excuses. People need to learn to exit those excuses in your head.
Mhm.
You can absolutely do what it is that you love, even especially with a body that looks different,
Yes.
because what you're learning in those moments is a different way of being. It's a different way of doing
Mhm.
something, and that is what someone else is watching. That is where your empowerment, it's not just for you, it is for
Mhm.
so much more than you. And if you're already in the habit, you were talking about, loving your work, that is an aspect of you. But when you're someone with
Mhm.
chronic illness, you understand that health is an aspect of you, and your body holds the balance
Mhm.
if you listen to it, just like the rest of your life does. There's a balance, work
Yes.
life balance. And if your work is taking everything and there's nothing left in life, well, your work is taking it from your life.
Correct.
That's where it's
Mhm.
it's not magically appearing out of the ether. It's taking it from you and you're
Mhm.
allowing it.
Yes,
That
that is
shows
correct.
me,
Yeah,
right? You're
that
allowing it. Now,
you are
when
letting
you,
it do that.
yes, but you learned something from it, and now you're applying it
Mhm.
to your business.
Yes.
That always brings a story. This is what I have found when I'm working with my clients, when I'm working with someone, even if it's a customer and they're going through my products and we're talking about specifics, there's always a story that comes up. And it usually has a component of pain to it, what they're getting from this interaction, and what they're going to grow this experience into. And it's so different from what I would do. And it usually humbles me. And I'm like, this is why I took the risk. Do you
Mhm.
have stories? And I know you do, that stick. Do you have any stories that stick, and maybe one or two that you'd like to share with us?
So I do have plenty of stories, and some of them, you don't want to share because they're embarrassing for you or embarrassing for somebody else. But
Right.
most of my stories involve some sort of shenanigans happening while we're filming or while we're we're shooting. But
Yeah.
my favorite story currently, and I was thinking about it this morning when I was thinking about what I wanted to share, is I was doing a photo shoot for a brand that will be coming out within the next couple of weeks. I can't share the name right now, but if you keep an eye out on my Instagram, I will blast them when the website is out and the products are out. But we were shooting and we thought, oh, it's a great day. It's amazing. It looks, it's a little cloudy, but it's great. And the second we got to the location, boom, the weather started. The weather came and we thought for a second maybe we should leave. But obviously that's not who I am and that's not who the person is. So we're like, you know what, let's just do this. And we got absolutely soaked. I ruined a pair of boots that I that I had on. I My clothes were soaked, their clothes were soaked, but the pictures we got out of them were absolutely stunning. And they are very, very happy with the product photography that we did. They're happy with the people photography that we did as well. And I'm very excited for people to see that because you can see the joy and we will be releasing some what we call like the bloopers of
Ah,
you know because we were near the ocean, so the water kept coming and I had to hold my camera up here while the wave crashed all over us. And so it was, I am that photographer. I am willing to be in that uncomfortable place with you, whether it be physical with the weather or sometimes it can be emotional. And that's another story I have of a friend who I did a photo shoot post giving birth, post having she was planning to do natural birth. Unfortunately, it ended up being an emergency C-section,
oh,
and it left a very traumatic imprint in her brain. So we did a photo shoot that this was just for her, and that's something that your pictures can be just for you. They don't have to be for the world. You don't have to post them online. You don't have to post them. They can be just for you. So this particular photo shoot, it was to show her scars, to show her, to show the baby, to show dad, to show the siblings. And it was very much a very intimate family moment, but it was very restorative for her because it was not just my family still loves me, but it was also this person sees, me as the photographer. I was able to see the beauty in her and bring that out. So those pictures, I'm sure she still has them, and she's every once in a while we'll catch up and talk about it. And I'm really it moves my heart that she thinks about that experience of like I was in a sad, traumatic place, and through the medium of art and through the medium of photography, she was able to embrace those scars that she was given. And it was wonderful. I mean, you have a child, the whole point of pregnancy, I suppose.
right,
Um,
right.
so those are a couple of my stories. So ranging from very personal to we were out getting pummeled by waves.
But this is, and again, Eva, this is something that is so different. This is why working with you is going to be so vital to someone who feels that that they shouldn't even have an image of themselves, that they don't even want to face what they're going through, that this is so awful. But
Mm-hmm.
actually, you know what? This is your raw moment of energy. You talked about that as you were talking
Mm-hmm.
about her and that feeling. It evoked in me. I was an emergency C-section baby. I had the
Oh,
umbilical cord around my neck.
oh my
I
gosh.
am releasing trauma still at age almost 45 because there
Yes.
was no acknowledgement of it. And I'm only doing this
Mm-hmm.
because I'm facing my learning and I'm doing the hard healing. And I'm going
Mm-hmm.
to something called myofascial release, which is horrifically painful. But at the same time, when you're done, it's a decade that's dropped off your body. And you're like,
Yes.
that's the trauma I was holding on to.
Yep. Release that.
Release it. Exactly. But that powerful, raw moment, especially as a woman, especially as someone who has cis female, and this is something we're going to talk about as well when we come back from the break, because it's very, very beautiful, that there are ways to experience this energy in us, this powerful feminine energy. Now, you can have a body born in any form, and I'm going to say cis anything here, okay? But we both have masculine and feminine within us. And this is something that is you uncover as you go through your healing, and you discover about yourself. And it's beautiful, because this is that power struggle within us. It's simply that we have an underwhelming understanding of how powerful we are, and we have an overwhelming fear of stepping into that beautiful power, because we've been told we cannot access it. But when you're working with someone who holds space, this is what you do when you've gone through pain, and you're not trying to help you're not trying to enable someone else, and you're not taking their healing from them, because we can, when we see someone struggle, we hold space instead. This is what you do. This is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing that when you're working with Eva holds space for you, whether it's adventure photography, camera in the air, we're dodging
over here.
We're using that raw energy to get that shot, and the bloopers, because the bloopers are vital.
Bloopers, those are the fun ones.
That's the look. I am human. It's okay.
Correct.
But that emotional space as well, because at some point she's going to share that picture with her children. They are having their own and welcoming their own into this world. This is the power that our family holds. This is the healing. This is the generational triumph over the generational trauma.
That's correct. Yes.
That just kind of came. Boom. Okay. So Eva,
I love that.
I know, it's like, So we have a photo shoot to give away. Eva has this beautiful photo shoot, 45 minutes to an hour. And this is something that is a gorgeous gift, because it's going to capture a moment in time when you are ready.
Yes.
And it's very easy to enter. So it's going on to Eva's social media on Instagram. There's a post that she's put up this morning. I've shared it as well. Wardrobe Media. Like and comment. Like and comment. And I would say comment something that you would like to see in a photo shoot, or something you're afraid of, or something that you're going, this is my feeling when I think about it, going, terror, I'm going to die. No, you're not.
You'll be fine. It'll be okay.
You'll be fine. Trust me, you'll be fine.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes until you're like, comfortable. And then it's like, okay. Trust me, Eva's going to make you laugh at some point, and then that's when you're going to feel comfortable. All your defenses are going to drop, and you're going to realize you didn't need them in the first place.
That is correct.
That's correct.
I'm not holding a weapon. It's just a camera.
It's a camera. Why do we feel that it's a weapon, though? Why?
Well, because images are weaponized against us in our society. We see images of perfectly photoshopped models. We see people who are, fit the heteronormative, straight, white, cis, very much that is what's held up as the unattainable reality that we're supposed to strive to, and that is incorrect. So people, when they see a camera, I don't fit, this isn't for me. And so a huge goal of mine is like, no, you do fit. This is for you too. This is for all of us who don't conform to the standards of what society, capitalism, is trying to give us.
And thank you for that. Thank you for everybody who is doing the struggle, who is stepping into their struggle, who is part of the struggle of saying, I have a difference and I love it. And I want to share it with you, because you know what? When I light up my little different spark, so does someone else. Correct. And we begin to see the world as not black and white, but not gray either, but so vibrantly colorful that there are shades we didn't even know we could access.
Yes.
And that is part of inclusivity. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the inclusivity as we come back from the break. So we're going to take a little break. And while we take this break, I'm going to encourage you, jump on that Instagram post right now. Don't forget, enter to win. We're going to run this until the end of February. March 1st is when we're going to do the drawing. I'd say go enter every day. I don't think there's a limit.
Yeah, no, there isn't a limit. Yeah,
go and enter so we can get your names and we can get you going. Go and do this right now. We're going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, Eva and I are going to discuss a really fun and inclusive way of being different with
Yes.
friends who love you regardless. And welcome back to Waking Hope with your host, Christine Vibrant, and our super fun and special guest, Eva Millan, who is here with me actually in the RGV, the lower RG, South Texas. Yeah, South Texas.
South Texas.
That's it. We've had 2 photo shoots together. And what
Yes.
different experiences. The first one, we were outdoors.
Yes.
And you taught
We
me
were
a
outdoors.
term. We there was a term for that light. What was that term that you used for that timing that we had to hit?
Oh, so we wanted to do golden hour. So what golden hour is the time in between the setting of the sun. So it's that time where the light is very diffused and it changes. The problem with golden hour is that it's gone like this. So you got to make sure that you're taking the opportunity to grab that light, but it's very much a diffused, beautiful gold,
Gold,
usually
yes.
golden or pinkish light that is going to be absolutely stunning. So you don't have to, when it's during the day, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's very harsh because the sun is usually right on top of you. And during golden hour, the sun is coming down, so there's that beautiful diffused lighting.
That's it. And we did the second shoot we did in my room with a different light. Yeah, and we had fun with that. Now, something that came up during the chat, because we were discussing inclusivity, discussing ways of being, and what it is to travel the world and to be different. And we came up with something that I'd never heard of before. And I loved it. And I want to share this with people because we're diving into different ways of being, finding ways to talk to people who are not going to be your traditional he, she, but I want to be called they. Just like I am not Christine Farr, but I'm being called Christine Vibrant. It's just a name I'm giving myself. It's not, asking anyone else to change. When we talked about that, Eva, you brought up something beautiful. And do you mind sharing that with our audience? Because this is something I was thrilled to find out.
Yeah, of course. So we were talking with Christine, and we were talking about inclusivity. And as a queer person myself, we were saying that, there's not a lot of spaces that are queer friendly. Now, while queerness and queer culture is being more widely accepted, it's still, we live in a very conservative area down here in the RGV, and it can be hard to find spaces that are safe, where I feel safe to be myself, feel safe to completely fully express myself. Currently I don't have a partner, but when you do have a partner, it can be scary to go out and not know if there's going to be, if someone's going to look at you wrong, they're going to say something. We know multiple people who have been, victims of hate crimes due to being part of the, LGBTQ plus community. And so as we were talking about creating spaces and making sure that we felt safe and seen and included, I mentioned to Christine that I enjoy the type of relationships I enjoy are my QPRs. And she's like, what is that? Yes. So QPR is queer, what we call in the queer community, queer platonic relationships. So that it's a relationship with your queer friends, and you're literally in a relationship. There's no sexual component. There's nothing like that, but you are in a relationship, and you are making sure that those people who you are in relationship with, you are not going out of your way, but you are making sure that they are included, that they're seen, that they're loved, that they know and acknowledge and see their own beauty. And when you are queer, there's a lot of pain and trauma that comes with that sometimes. And so we will, hey, you're having a rough day, let me take you on a date. And so we will go out on friend dates. And sometimes it's me, sometimes it's them, and it's sometimes it's the both of us. Hey, you want to go on a date? Yep, let's go on a date. We're going to go get ice cream, or we're going to go to the beach, or we're actually all going to go on a huge friend date, and we're all going to go together, and we're going to go on an adventure, or we're going to go to the movies and things like that make a community. And so part of that is creating community, creating space, and making sure that you are safe and seen and loved. And it's very much has been part of my healing and self-love journey. It's having people around who not just see me and cheer me on, because cheering someone on is great, but they champion me. And so I use that word, they champion me. They are my champions. They're going, sometimes if I don't have the strength, they're going in front of me and making a way for me, making space for me. Hey, you need to just nap. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. I know we were going to hang out, but You can go nap. That's okay. So making space.
And again, we're talking about that space, and this is something that I feel, and this is why I was so thrilled about it. I'm getting quite emotional, and I've got to keep my emotions under control, because this example is something that is going to teach so many people, especially people that have grown up in traumatic home environments, what a healthy relationship is.
Yes.
What a healthy, because you said there's no pressure. There's no pressure. I do not have to bargain my body in order to be treated well. You're just treating me well because you care about me and you see me. And that's it. How beautiful and how healthy this is. And this is something that I would encourage people to do with their friends, however your friends express themselves. I
Yes.
love that there's QPR. I love that I'm learning about this. And people, and I want people to be open to this, because we are all different. We all have a different experience of life. And this is nothing new. There have been people experiencing ways of being like this since the beginning. We've
Yes.
just been restricted to. And having grown up in a country where there was apartheid, where the way that you looked, and even in my case, the language that you spoke,
Yes.
my family was not supposed to be married. I mean, it was ridiculous. And the more you ban things, the more pain and trauma you cause. The more you open up, the more pain and trauma you heal.
Yes. And that's part of being in the community, is making sure that you're feeling, first of all, feeling safe to open up, but then those ugly, the hurtful, nasty things on the inside can come to the light and disappear. And that's the thing, when you bring something, insecurities or feelings of unworthiness or anything like that, and even feelings that you might have about your if you're chronically ill like myself, sometimes it's very much, I hate my body, I hate where I am, I hate that I'm always in pain, and there's very much this pain, and I feel comfortable enough to let it out on my friends, and all of a sudden it's not that those feelings don't exist or they're not there or anything like that, but it's that they no longer have power, because my friends see me and they're like, we love you, but you're beautiful, but look at you, you're amazing, look at how far you've come. They remind me of where I've been, and most importantly, they remind me of where I'm going. So that's, they're like, what are you talking about? We still have to go to that convention. What are you talking about? We still need to do this. What are you talking about? We still need to complete all these dreams that we've shared and that we've encountered. And you can't quit now. You got to keep going.
That's it. But that's it. And that's that healthy relationship. They're not hearing your pain and feeling the need to rescue you, feeling the need to save you, feeling that you're coming to them for rescue. What do you need from me? Which, when we connect with people in pain, what do you need? We can come with resistance. But when it's actually, I'm just holding space for you, I need you to hold space for me. There's zero resistance. There's absolutely no resistance, because there's nothing that you're bringing. It's just your being. It's being together. And this is with the chronic illness. I love that you've brought this up. We've got a few minutes left, and I want to challenge. This is a challenge I want to throw out. Anybody who's got a chronically ill friend, anybody who's got a friend who is supporting a chronically ill spouse, family member, partner, take them on a date. Take them on a friend date. It doesn't have to be crazy. It can be, let's go and sit in the park for an hour with a picnic. I will help you make sure that the person you're caring for has care. Let's get this taken care of, and let's just go and spend some time, because we need to normalize what it is to process pain, what it is to navigate bodies that no longer function like we expect and will not ever go back to it, but it doesn't make us less than. The more we heal, it actually makes us more than. Our bodies become more powerful because we give them permission. Like you said, we give permission. And when you have the space for other people, it's a space, they give it back to you. And Eva, you bring this into your photography. Let's talk about that giveaway one more time before we sign off today. Eva's got a gorgeous giveaway. I'm going to let her explain in her own words real quick. What is your giveaway for today, Eva?
So I have a giveaway of a photography session, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on what we need and what we feel comfortable with. I want to make sure that whoever receives this gift is comfortable, and they're feeling great in their skin and feeling like they want to do this. So there's no real time limit. We'll give the giveaway, and you'll have however much time you need to feel comfortable, or you can talk to me and we can process together and we can get the ball rolling a little sooner. I'm flexible when it comes to that.
And I love this. And it's so easy to enter. It's going onto Instagram, find Wardrobe Media, like and comment on the post. I would subscribe as well, just to kind of keep in touch with Eva and to see what she's
so you
bringing
can see so you can see when the post comes up of who won.
Yes, that as well. Exactly. And we're going to encourage anyone who feels different about themselves to find a safe friend.
Yes.
Find a safe space, find a safe person. And that is how you grow a community. And that you step into ways of being and you find people to work with who accept you, who are never, ever going to say you need to be a certain way to fit my mold, ever. That's when you walk away. Big red flag. A green flag is saying, I see who you are. I accept who you are. Let me show you what I see and see how we go from there.
And a huge way to just a huge way to cultivate that and put that out into the universe is to be that yourself. You be a safe space. Make sure that you're putting that out, that you are reciprocating that, and that people will resonate with that and be drawn to you.
Thank you. And this is exactly what I was going to ask. You've just answered my question. I was going to say, what is the last thing you want to leave? And this is beautiful. Thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for sharing how you've turned your pain into purpose. Oh, I'm so lucky I met you. I'm so glad for the day that I met you. Again, head over to wardrobemedia.org.
Yes.
Okay, ORG. We've got Wardrobe Media on social media. Instagram is where you're going to find the post. And Eva, if there is a visualization you can leave us with, let's do this. A visualization you can leave us with that often helps people to understand that they're okay in front of the camera, or something that you do yourself when you're feeling not okay on a bad day. Do you have a visualization you can share with us?
So I try to visualize, I'm sorry. I try to visualize myself in the safest, most comfortable place that I can, imagine, whether at that time it might be a forest, or it might be my bedroom, or it might be whatever it is, wherever I need to go mentally to feel safe. And that is what I do. That is what I visualize. It's like, I am not in front of a camera. I am not in front of this person who's making, maybe they're not making me feel uncomfortable, but the situation is making me feel uncomfortable. So I'm going to create on the inside. I'm going to create a space that I'm feeling comfortable in, so that I can now project that to the outside.
Beautiful. And this is part of that. That's that moment of mindfulness, that moment of tapping in, especially if you are creative, if you are a visual learner, if you've got this beautiful, fantastic imagination, use it for your grounding. Use it to bring yourself back to center and tap into this moment to moment, because that corny as it sounds, the present is a gift, and you can only live in the present.
Correct.
Thank you so much for being on Waking Hope with us today, Eva.
Thank you for having me.
Eva, has this been everything you expected and more?
It's been really fun. I really appreciate the opportunity and the conversation. It's always nice to vibe with someone for a little bit.
Beautiful. Thank you. And just to encourage you, this is our Better Me Empowered Living. This is, but both of us, Eva and I, have been shy in front of a camera. Eva and I are not comfortable public speaking. We have gone through some journeys with our body. We have our surgery scars. We have ongoing conditions, but we choose to step up. We choose to face ourselves. We choose to continue this journey of freelancing, entrepreneurship, of stepping into being our own boss, because it gives us opportunity to work with people like you, those of you who are tuning in, those of you who are curious, those of you who are seekers, those of you who are different, and you're daring to be different. You're exiting your excuses and you're showing up beautifully, vibrantly, imperfectly, exactly as you should be. Eva, have a beautiful, beautiful day. We have a few seconds left.
Thank you so much. You too.
You too, guys. I really encourage you, guys, dolls, ladies, in between, everybody, however you experience yourself, however you express yourself. Thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for taking time. And we look forward to announcing our winner March 1st.
March 1st.
The rest of the month. Go and enter that giveaway right now. Thank you again from Christine Vibrant, your Better Me Empowered Living coach, waking hope, your healing, opening opportunity to find your purpose and live your Better Me empowered life. Taking pictures and shots of yourself as you go, using your visualizations. It's catching, isn't it?
It's
Yes.
going.
and just being who you are, finding your community,
Yes.
holding space. And as Eva said beautifully, you become the one that you were seeking. You become what you are looking to find. And that opens up your life. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you next time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Take care. Bye. As this hour of Waking Hope comes to a close, I hope you have been lifted and strengthened. I hope you have turned your pain points into PowerPoints. For more love and healing, tune in again the second and fourth Thursdays of every month at 8 a.m. Pacific Time. If you can't wait until then, reach out to me at beingbetterme.com and we'll come up with a plan together to awaken your hope, supercharge your healing, and bring your world back into balance. Until next time.